5 years ago, when we started the business, a lot of the traditional energy management systems are too expensive or disrupts the business when they get installed. So when we started Zen Ecosystems, our key focus is how can we actually minimize the disruption and also reduce the cost of an energy management platform for a commercial business. So Zen Ecosystems provides an energy management platform that serves both the residential and commercial market. For the residential market, we are trying to provide them with an energy solution directly for air conditioning units that balances energy savings and comfort. For the commercial market, what we're trying to address there is to make sure that in a commercial setting, when you have multiple sites, that you're able to control how much deviations a particular site user would do for their site, so that you actually don't let it run too low in terms of temperature and use too much energy. So our platform allows a facility manager to be able to control from 1 to 100 within a single online dashboard. So the main problems we're solving for our customers for residential, it's a problem wherein if you actually forget your air conditioning unit to be on and you leave the house, that you're able to remotely turn it off. And also in a warm day, that if you have a pet at home, that you'll be able to monitor what the temperature is, make sure that the temperature is safe for your pet to be left home, because you can remotely control your air conditioning system. In a commercial environment, there are multiple things that we are trying to solve there. One is the ability to aggregate. So if I have 10 McDonald's stores or 10 supermarkets, that I'll be able to have a single platform to create a schedule wherein what's the temperature in the morning, what's the temperature at night, to be able to then make sure that the minimum and maximum set points that your air conditioning systems in your stores are set to a safe number, that it won't either freeze your compressor or give you a very high electricity bill at the end of the month. So it really depends on the IoT category. I would say if we're talking about home security, Australia and the US are almost at par in terms of that category. When we're talking about heating and cooling or on the HVAC side, Australia is a bit behind from the US, and it's primarily because of the compatibility on the interface between the air conditioning unit and a smart device. In the US, I would say 80 to 90% of the systems there have the same interface. Here in Australia, we have 4 to 5 different interfaces that it is much more difficult from a manufacturer to be able to say, I have 100% compatibility. And that's why from a Zen perspective, given that we're founded here in Melbourne, that we focus on how can we address the top 80% with just a single technology that can do that. And that's why we actually released the Zen Air device, which is a split system air conditioning controller, to be able to bridge that gap so that you can control your air conditioning unit, and it supports multiple air conditioning codes for you to use with different brands in Australia. I think that's a good question. So what the future looks like for us in Australia, and I would really say that the energy conversation in Australia is really exciting at this stage. We see that where we'll be playing in Australia is more on the aggregation of devices. So we will be able to aggregate not only air conditioning units, but also hot water system, pool pumps, batteries, and solar. So be able to aggregate those devices and aggregate sites where those devices are installed. So that allows an energy-focused company to be able to then run efficient energy management programs and save much in terms of from the residential user, where they might be able to access the spot pricing, and they can either export to the grid when it is good for them, or use that energy that they are generating through their solar panels when the prices are too high. So an aggregation platform is the future that we see will be working in Australia as well as around in the US as well. Yeah, so I think for us, the main value proposition is really that platform that doesn't only aggregate our own technology, but other people's technology as well. So we really value we really see the value of partnerships and collaboration. We understand that to be able to solve the energy problems, that you need to actually work together. So our key value proposition is we have aggregated multiple technologies into our platform, so you don't necessarily only need to use our thermostat, or you don't necessarily need to only use our algorithms. You could utilize other algorithms as well to be able to achieve your end goal, which is either energy savings, providing maximum comfort to your user, or the ability to keep people safe when there is either a heat wave or some event that will be unsafe for them. So other categories that we work in, so we work in the retail outlets. So we work also on resorts. So we have installed our products in a resort environment wherein you have guests that needs to have that like really high-end experience in terms of comfort, but also making sure that we could also help the resort save on energy. We've also been on fast food outlets wherein the amount of savings they need, they actually can get out of our system, allows them to increase their profits in that environment. Also to monitor in terms of, is the equipment they've installed sufficient for that environment? Given that there's a kitchen that is running almost 24 hours, are they using the right heating and cooling system in that kind of environment? In a residential setting, we are operating either in home care, also in settings where we're trying to do aggregated demand response. Yeah. Our business model is a B2B2C. So we work with partners who already have a large customer base, and what they do is they communicate the value proposition that this partnership has on offer. It's either to be able to say that by utilizing our technology, like the Zen Air device, that they'll be able to remotely control their home and be comfortable when they arrive at home. And at the same time, for our partners, then they say they could then aggregate all of those devices that during a demand response event that they could either change the setback. So we definitely do not turn off air conditioning units. We change them where you can reduce it by 1 or 2 degrees to be able to reduce the load to the electricity grid. So it's global, but for us, we want to make sure that we also have the right focus given the size of the business. So we're currently focusing on the US and Australia. So in the US, our main focus there are really about working with existing partners that have a big customer base to as an added value to their existing platform. May it be for home security, may it be an energy subscription, or it could also be for home automation or their internet internet bundle. That's our business in the US. Here in Australia, we are still really trying to ramp up our presence here, and we are trying to work with energy retailers to be able to provide their customers with additional value that also helps them save on their energy usage. So it's not necessarily to just say, here's an additional device that allows you to control your AC, but also a device that can convey how much you're actually using on that day, so that you'll know when you need to set your set point to a lower number or to a higher number, depending on what saves you more energy. Thank you.